thankfulness and gratitude. Ooh, I really don't know where to begin. I haven't slept again all night, and it's like approaching dinner time, so I've been up for a long time. One of my friends made a really good point when I was younger. I meant to grab something to explain, sorry. I'd made something out of, I think it was toffee wrappers, and my dad had made something out of toffee wrappers, and I had them just hanging around, and the thing that my dad made was like a big ball of knots, and I think I'd made butterflies or something out of just normal toffee wrappers, candy wrappers. And she actually said, and it's always stayed with me, that she doesn't know any other family that could take a piece of, in her words, crap and make something beautiful with it. I'm grateful for that ability to see things in a different light, like this pile of crap that you're staring at. So I've been doing a bit of tidying up. I can flail my arms around, look, yeah, causing a landslide. One of the people, just one of the people I am so grateful for, who totally seems to get that I haven't used the internet at all, really much. I know how to get on YouTube. I know how to have a little look on eBay until they changed everything around, and now I haven't got a clue what I'm doing on there. So and I know how to like Google images, but if anything happens out of the blue, if a message pops up, I'm lost completely. I used to be on Facebook a long time ago, well, long time for me ago, about a year ago. When I first started using internet, it must have been about a year ago, and they changed it, and it totally took over my Android device and scrambled its brains, somewhat rotten, and I couldn't get to any of the, because there were just pictures all over it, so I had to kill it. So I can't find out the hashtag events. I wanted to do the YouTube because the hashtag was all about making YouTube a better place for artists and giving us own makeup and everything is all in we haven't really got one. I don't know what the words are. I just don't know the language properly, I'm sorry. What I gathered was it was to give us his own department, shall we say, where we're not bunged in with home improvements and nail art and makeup and stuff that's not really anything to do with crafting and artwork. And because, as I've previously said, I got floored by a lot of diagnoses on top of a couple of old injuries, and just things weren't going good, and I couldn't do right much. I mean, literally a couple of points it got to just making it downstairs to get some fluid, so I could take my medication, and it was bad. And I found YouTube, and watching people craft was just amazing for me. It was just crazy good compared to not, I mean, I don't have a TV. I haven't had a TV for a lot of years, so I had nothing to entertain myself, so I started watching on a phone at the beginning, and then my phone packed in, and because Mick realised I could actually for once get on the internet and sort of move around on there a little bit, he got me this, which is absolutely precious to me. Look at all fingerprints on it. If that ever packs in, I don't know what I'm going to do. But anyway, the point to this long, terrible ramble is Book Lady Jane has been keeping me informed on the topic of the upcoming hashtag events, because it takes me so long to create anything. If I wait for people to do the let's get excited announcements and then try and do something, I'm either producing stuff that I'm just not proud of, things keep going wrong and I'm getting frustrated, and it's a nightmare. So she's been keeping me updated last couple of ones. So I thought it was a perfect opportunity to show my gratitude to a few people. I've managed to do 2 things, but Mick's been away again, and anybody who comes on my site regular will know that it's Mick that does all that side of it for me, because there's no way at the moment I can get my head around that. You know, I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, as I say, I've been tidying up, and there's bits from projects and feathers and odd bits of string, and oh look, one of them flutter moth things again, and all sorts of bits of rubbish. And nobody take offence at this, because Book Lady Jane, she can't abide waste, and I can't abide waste. Just hate it. Oh, paint palette, sorry. Can't abide waste, just absolutely hate it. So I decided to challenge myself, and sorry about the rustling, I'm just trying to find something, because I've been promising to show her something for ages, but that project's taking me a long time, and it's a shame, because that one's about gratitude as well, and thankfulness, and it would have fit in really well, but I can't get it finished in time. Yeah, so basically I'm making it all out of, I'm keeping 2 rubbish. I'm sorry, that sounds really insulting. Apart from matte medium, Mod Podge, a bit of ink, a bit of paint, but that's debatable if you actually look at the state. And I hope they're alright. I mean, I've used them on stuff that's been sat outside for months and they've been fine, so I mean, this isn't going to get any sticks, so. Oh, and yeah, there you go, have a laugh. That's my first tacky glue. Look at the size of it. Oh, it's upside down. Isn't that sweet? It's just so sweet. Mick brought it back from America for me, along with my first ever one. I'm a bit disappointed there is not as matte as it says that it's matte, and it's not as matte as I thought it was going to be, but it's turned out alright. Anyway, I've been sticking to, as much as possible, crap. Pardon my language, but it is. I mean, that, you don't want to know what that's from. It's clean, don't worry if you do recognise it. It gets decanted. Loo roll tubes. Oh, this is just sounding worse. Bits of print off. I think that was a wet wipe of some kind. Bits of packing tissue paper. An old 1997. Oh, don't ask. Art supplies. If it works, it works. Clean up tissues, stamp offs again, all sorts of rubbish. Oh, what were I saying about no landslides? So anyway, this is what I've made you. This was from, hang on, I'll zoom in, that's going to be a lot easier if I move all this rubbish and then zoom in. When I was a little bit stronger, boy, does it take it out of you, did some willow weaving, and the end bits are too stiff, even soaked, they're way too stiff to weave in, but you keep the longish bits to keep gaps open for when you're bending over and putting them in, and it's complicated. So I do have quite a few end pieces, but because it's an immature wood, it has, sorry, well, that took concentration. Because it's an immature wood, it has pith inside. It's quite soft, so I've dealt with that. But you'll see on the speeded up bit, it's toilet tissue roll. It's layers of tissue, because I don't want to get through all the videos because I really like watching it, and I've got through quite a lot, and I don't want to get through all of them too soon. It's like a box of chocolates, you leave a few of your favourites to the end and hope that nobody else nicks them. Well, I do. I've been trying to find the tastes out by watching and paying attention and watching the ones that I've already watched, but the ones that I've watched, she's always making things for everybody else, apart from a couple. They just seem to be for everybody else. So I did look at a Christmas one, and I'm sure she didn't say that they were for anybody else, and they were actually similar colours and things, and some of the big spreadsheets, like backing papers and stuff. They're all layers of embossing. I embossed this and embossed the other butterfly here. I didn't emboss the little waspy bits. I used little bits of tissue-y stuff off other things. It's just ink pads patted on, squirted with water and stuff, and that's what I did with the butterfly. When I do this butterfly, I colour it on one side of the tissue paper, stamp it twice, once with yellow, once with red. Then I flip it over, stamp it black as close as I possibly can directly on top, flip it back over so the coloured sides are up, make sure the black's dry, flip it over, make sure the colour sides are up, squirt it with water, and that's why it goes all like that. If I try turning that light off, because I know it's shiny, but that's the point of it. So it's like glassy and sort of see-through, if you will, like a lot of depth to it. It really is. I hope she hates it because I want it. Sorry. Anyway, I used a mixture of all sorts around the edges, Sharpie and ink and paints and whatnot, and then I obviously carved that and polished it, but I've polished this bit and I've polished this bit. I know she's got a tendency to lose them on roller coasters, so I've tried to take that in mind, and I've made it right-handed, because she's right-handed. This hole's bigger than this hole, so don't try putting it in the other way. It'll be easy for you because it'll fit in your hair and you can put it in that way, behind your head obviously, wherever. And it wedges in. I'm going to lift it up to the camera, you won't see it but you'll hear it squeaking. But if you hold it and support it when you tighten it up, don't try and hold it here and push, or else you might, it's only cardboard at the end of the day. I've tried my best, it's pretty hard, but I don't think it'd stand chucking in a handbag or accidentally stomping on or anything. But if you listen, that's a good sound, that's fine, that's it's just being tightened up. So to make that one smaller, I punched out some flowers, or attempted to punch out some flowers, and I've put a lady inside, because she's a lady, and I'm going to sign it, if you don't mind me signing it. But as I say, when you put it in your hair, just give it a good tighten. I haven't varnished it. I don't know if you want me to varnish this end piece and this end piece. And where the pith there, because you don't want it to start splitting, because when you try and put it in your hair it'll snag. If it ever does start wearing or, you know, splitting or anything, just put wood glue on it, watered down, and then thicker and thicker and thicker, and then just give it a bit of a sand with an old nail file and it should be fine. But as I said, there's no varnish on there, and I know it's full of fingerprints at the moment, but it's proper gleamer. I've took it, I mean, there's hardly any bark on it, but you can see all the different layers of bark. You can see where it's bedded in there. Right, I know that this is a bit strange and not normal behaviour, but because you've got a tendency to lose them, like she lost one, as far as I know. She told me that she'd lost one. I've got some, it's my own hair extensions, but it's made out of my own hair. And I've known people just to sort of put them like that in your hair and expect them to stay in. I know that this isn't a full head of hair, you know. They're just not going to, you know. So what I tend to do is, when I'm doing it, I'll put that through, towards the bottom, but through a bit of the hair, with a bobble in place, and it stops it from, I know that because there's not enough hair in there, it's wobbling around, but you see the idea. And because that's a small bobble, they get covered up. I'm sorry if I'm trying to teach me, is it grandmother to suck eggs? Is that the expression? But I just thought, you know, in case you don't know, I'd say something. That was the shadow on it. I wanted to keep as matte as possible. Inktense block. And that's Mod Podge. That's that stuff, and again that's been outside since early spring, and it's still alright. I know it looks yellow, but I think it's the plastic of the container, because I actually put some on some white paper, and if it turns yellow it doesn't really matter because it's yellow, it'll just look more antique. And that were another thing, on your birthday cake, your furniture sort of looked, that table, Indian sort of antique sort of loveliness, and I just, you know, I'm guessing, I'm trying. I want you to like it, obviously. Right, just remember what I was saying. Inktense blocks. The black came out really matte, and I really liked it next to the really shiny, and it looked, because I'd already Mod Podged this, but the Mod Podge made it eggshelly, like lustre-y, slightly buffed polisher, but it looked better matte, so I used, no, what were I just saying about being able to wave my arms around? It's because I haven't sorted anything out properly yet. I'm still trying to organise it all. I used that, and that, we did a lot of research trying to find a really, really matte varnish, and it's pretty matte. It really is good. So it's definitely matte. So I like the combination of it. I don't know why, it reminds me of an old Chesterfield. I think it's like the dark bits around the outsides, but I certainly don't think it looks like it's been made out of rubbish. But yeah, when you put it in your hair, top and bottom finger, or even, you know, like that, just so you're not threatening to fold it in half, because you're like me, you've got quite fine hair. I didn't want to put a metal frame inside it because of the weight. It does make them heavy, and I wanted to see if I could make a frame just out of cardboard, because I think people might have a go at making them. It's a bit easier as long as you've got some kind of mandrel that it can fit on and keep it on there while the glue's drying, obviously. I mean, there's no harm doing it on an aerosol, as long as you don't squirt yourself in the face accidentally, as long as you don't use a heat gun. You know, just please keep that in mind, because I don't know if Mick can edit that bit out. I'm not sure, because I don't know how to look at the footage I've got. I'm making myself one. That goes with that colour, doesn't it? I think it'll go beautiful with blonde. But anyway, yeah. I liked the difference, so I went back and matted that. So there's like 3 different levels of shine. But I hope you like it. Thanks for watching, and if you want to watch the fast forward bit, you know, of the making of it, I'd say it's all in there. It's got to be, unless camera's done one or something. Yeah, give it a go. They're fun, and I mean, it really is exceedingly light compared to the other one. It really is light. I mean, the other one's not heavy, but you know, if you've got fine hair, slippy hair, enjoy. I'm useless, aren't I? Sorry. Right, the project that I was making, where's it gone? I just had it. Where's it gone? Oh, it's there. The project that I was making, I don't know what condition this is going to be in. It was when Mick was in America, and I was uploading a lot of little bits that were taking a long time to upload, so he could then edit them and try and make something out of them. And this was a colour that I mixed for the project that I was doing, and going off the last dates, I know it's not right reliable, but Mick might be able to tell me exactly. This was mixed probably approaching a month ago, but what you do is peel off as much of this as you can, and if it's like this, oh, I could make something out of that. If it's like this and it's got these little dimples, they're like little inny uppy downy bits, fill them with paint or something so they're more or less smooth. Dry it off, make sure it's nice and dry, and if you're mixing just a small batch of colour, but you know you can't carry on or whatever, or you need it for later and you don't want to put it in a big pot, you know, you only need a couple of drips. Just, that's why it's got your name on it. It's all the way through the video. I was trying to, because I didn't know whether I could speak on them. Well, I knew that I couldn't speak on them, but I'd promised to tell you, so I wrote your name on, and I was going to point at it and then tell you in the comments, which might have been quicker in the end. But anyway, yeah, fill in the dimples, put a piece of good quality masking tape is better than sellotape. Sellotape's too rigid, so anything that will go up and down, even maybe washi tape with a piece of sellotape over the top, centre bit, I don't know. It looks wet. Hang on. Where's one of my little joss stick ends left over from joss sticks? It is, it's still wet. There you go. So if, as I say, you know, you're making something, you've mixed a colour up, you need to keep that colour going. It works. Not saying every time. It'll certainly keep it for a few hours. I'm really surprised. I probably should put a drip of water in there while it's open actually. But obviously keep the top dry. You don't want any water going on there, else it'll just bugger your tape up. But I usually put a drip of water on top so it's like a seal over the top. Don't mix it in. You can mix it in obviously, but when you've done that, put another drip over the top, so that's going to evaporate first if anything. When you put it down, just run the back of your nail over it, burnish it, and just try not to open it too often. And obviously don't put it anywhere like over the top of a radiator or out like that, you know, anything daft near your heat gun or anything. But it obviously works, and that one's worked rather well. Oh, I'm so relieved. I'm relieved that it's wet as well, because I don't know if I could mix that exact colour again. But tablet containers, if you need any, let me know. I have literally, of the paracetamol size ones, that size ones, I've literally got like a good carrier bag full. If you need any, or if you know anybody, you know, down your end that needs any, because I know some people, I mean, I know somebody who's probably never took more than a paracetamol in his life. Yeah, Mark. No, actually, he has had a few headaches. But, you know, I know people, some people, you know, don't have the need for medication and wouldn't find it easy to get hold of these. So give me a shout if you want any, Jam, no problem. I'm sending you something anyway, obviously, so I'll bungle load in for you if you want some. Right, I'm going this time. Enjoy. Well, enjoy if you enjoy. I'm not forcing you to enjoy it. Just see ya.